Péter Földházi Jr., also from EPAM Systems, and I must say that I agree with Gábor. So if you thought that we are going to talk about the future of IT and QA and let you know what will happen in the future, we have to let you down. Sorry.
As other companies, EPAM, as a service provider company, is following trends, checking trends regularly, and reading quality reports, reading reports about IT. And of course, since we are having huge amount of customers, we are having some surveys and try to predict the future. We have identified some patterns in these studies, which I would like to share today. First of all, there are some game changers. What we see that these may have impact on the IT world. And of course, it's not just about the IT, it's the QA world as well. So let's see the impact of these IT-related changes on the software testing world as well. We have found some communities in these changes, in these impacts, and therefore software testing needs to change. I try to give some examples later on about this, together with Peter. And of course, we need to make some steps. And EPAM already done some steps. Of course, we are not at the end of the road. It's a continuous walk away. So we have identified 6 game changers, and I'm going to go slightly deeper into these influencers. First of all is the globalization. What we mean about this is that international companies who are having national departments are going for a unique platform. So instead of having their own different systems for exactly the same task, they are moving to one unique system. On the other way around, this system cannot be in one place in the world. Users, customers must access this in a decentralized way, so they are moving more to the cloud. And last but not least, these companies need to collect data, statistical data, to move on and find out where they should go, and these data need to be collected.
But Gábor, what about testing?
Yeah, of course it has some effect on testing. So on the right side, you see the impact. It means that if we collect huge amount of data, then we need to test these. So we need to introduce BI testing or strengthen BI testing, data analysis testing. This data need to be secured. And of course, since I was talking about the cloud and we go to microservices direction, the service layer need to be tested very thoroughly. The next one is the digital transformation. Maybe this is the phrase which is not 100% familiar to all of you. Classical businesses are going for the digital direction. So let's say a shoemaker company is now available on the e-commerce business. They are having some websites, they are having retailer systems, so they need to keep the pace. Because of this, we need to understand the domain, we need to talk their languages. And of course, we have to introduce some players, other players in this to basically support this conversation, because these guys are more kind of visionary people who would like to see their product in their hands, feel, understand it, before we just simply go away and start working on the product. So we need to have a vision, we need to give them a solution, we need to draw some user experiences or graphic designs at the very beginning. This requires cooperation from the testing side to those people, so like UX designers and graphic designers. We need to, as I said, strengthen the domain knowledge, and sometimes because these people doesn't require some low-level or very special tool. We are using blocks, building blocks, and we need to do some customization, so customization testing is a must there. The third point I would like to mention is the rapid development. Probably that's what everybody knows about. We need to go there fast at the market. Our clients need to be there, of course, and they need to have some immediate feedback about their new products or new features from the users, from the clients as well. And of course, here I can mention that because of the rapid development, sometimes these guys are requiring building blocks, so we don't implement or develop applications or any products from scratch. As we are going to have a discussion later on, this requires engineering, so test automation is a must there. We need to somehow minimize the manual effort to speed up this whole process. And we have several tools: continuous integration, continuous deployment, and delivery. Thomas just mentioned about the continuous deployment, and also the canary releases. And we need to check the outcome, check the feedback from the customer very fast.
Okay, so the next topic is about personalization. So I'm pretty sure that most of you have already ordered something from the internet, from eBay or from Amazon. And after you placed your order, you were targeted by other possible items that you would like to buy. This is very common nowadays, and this is very useful for these sites, because this way they can increase their income dramatically. And of course, when we try to test how these things work, it's very difficult, because there's a huge amount of data that you need to use as an input data, and different kind of data that you cannot predict exactly. So it's not an easy task, but you have to think about it and make sure that it's secure data. And the next topic is my favorite one. Probably those who were here or at HUSTEF last year, at the other place, might recall my presentation, which revolved mostly around mobile testing. And it's a very important area, I think. And there are hundreds, thousands, 10,000s of different devices that we have to test with. It's impossible to use so many devices, and don't just think about these devices, the mobile devices, the phones. Think about the tablets, the phablets, and also about gadgets with different sensors, variables. I don't know how many of you wear anything right now, any kind of variables, but I'm pretty sure that there are at least one person over here who does that. So other than these gadgets, we have different kind of smart home devices that we can control with, with our mobile phones or other gadgets. And I would like to jump to the next topic, which is the last one, and it's about robotics. And actually, this is the youngest area right now. We don't have that much information about it, but more businesses are investing into robotics. And I don't know how many of you heard about it, but now you can even order your pizza that is being transported with a drone. I haven't done that so far. I don't know if that's possible in Hungary right now, but I do know that it's possible in the western side of the planet. And also, you can clean your home without using your own hands. And also, we heard today, we talk about the 5G and how it will help transportation and the smart cars that will be driven by themselves. Don't forget that trucks can use such power too, and we must secure these cars and trucks, because it wouldn't be nice if these trucks went onto bad track.
So as you could see in these 6 influencers, on the right side, we have enlisted some topics, some areas of testing which might need to be improved or where the emphasis should go. But other than that, we need to change software testing in general. So the approach, somehow the education, we need to be more technical. Test automation is a must. We have heard plenty of presentations already about that today, and I presume tomorrow as well. So let's check all of these slightly deeper. I must admit that at EPAM we had and we still have some guys who are coming from non-IT background. We believed that somehow testers who doesn't have influence on IT probably are the most closer to the users, and we still have really, really good manual testers who have the sense to pinpoint issues like this. But unfortunately, since the systems are getting more and more complex, we need to evolve. So technical understanding, technical skills are a must. Of course, we try to address this problem by creating technical test training series to help these guys to kind of gather these IT-related skills. And of course, we provide them career transformation, so like they can go more to the automation direction. Why I have this point as a separate point is that we had a survey and some statistical data within EPAM, and we see that in 2016 the number of manual testers and the test automation people will be equal. So this will change in 2016. And actually this didn't count the engineering roles, so those guys who already went to the engineering direction.
And as automation has already been addressed, I won't go into more details about it. A lot of tools are there for automating tests, but also for manual checking as well. For example, layout testing, which helps the manual testers' lives. And as Gábor already mentioned, engineers. There's some kind of shift in this area. So now we have developers, we have QA testers, and business analysts. And more we demand that these people know how to work, how the other people work like. So people, engineers that can work like developers, testers, and analysts. And you can see the pyramid as well. It's a very hot topic nowadays that there's a shift there as well, and actually in this direction. And there's less and less demand on putting more time, investing more time on end-to-end testing because of these automation tools and other methods. And there's more demand on putting more time investment in integration and unit testing. Right now, EPAM is somewhere in between, like an hourglass shape.
So as I mentioned earlier in one of the slides, that we have identified some testing areas where we need to be improved. I'm not saying that we are weak on that. We have professionals who are working in these big data testing, security, privacy areas, but these are separated people all over the world. So we have found out something with which we could somehow get these people get closer to each other. We have established communities. So these people have some regular discussion forums, and projects can get their support as a consultant, so they can be there for a couple of weeks, or even they can allocate some percentage from their time.
mentoring is also very important because there's also difference now in the aspect how the teams are built up. So previously there were huger teams and bigger projects, longer term projects, and now we have more separate, smaller projects that try to deliver as fast as possible, as many times as possible. This way, the QAs are working separately most of the time, and it's very hard to improve if there's no outer help. So we have dedicated mentors. We try to improve the knowledge of these QA guys, and these QA guys and gals, of course, can help each other as well. So it's some kind of a double mentoring.
So as I touched upon somehow the communities, what we call these specialized people is competency center. So this is basically a discipline-based centers of excellence, like Java Competency Center or Relevant Testing Competency Center. Of course, we have some sub-departments of these competency centers like mobile testing, security testing, and so on. We have another kind of group which is called solution practices. These are more grouped towards the technologies, so like Hybris, Adobe CQ, and so on. Of course, we encourage to have local communities. It's somehow built in the work time, and of course, luckily, these guys are really engaged, and they are having sometimes from their spare time to get together and talk about issues, talk about some stories, ups and downs on their projects. We are having gadget community. They are playing with this new robotics stuff which are available for basically everybody. And the last point here is the events. I'm really proud that the third time we are going to have in the next spring a global EPAM test competition with approximately 300 people all over the world, like 8 to 11 countries. And we are testing some of our internal softwares, and I must admit that we find some issues there.
And it's very important that we don't just focus on those people who are working under our ranks, but also those who are working elsewhere or are not workers right now. We try to help them as well. And we also focus on the youngsters, on those students who are currently studying at high schools or universities. We have our very own training programs as well for newcomers who join our ranks, and they can start learning about QA from day zero, even those who are not testers. We believe that it's very important that we teach them these aspects. And when we create these materials, we always build them on the ISTQB principles. So in order to make it worldwide accepted and more understandable material.
The last point is the visibility. So the earlier slides were concentrating on some actions what we need to improve and already improved. But actually, there is one part which is sometimes forgotten, is the visibility. So first of all, we have plenty of projects, and as Peter mentioned, these QA people, poor QA people, sometimes left alone in small 5 to 8 people groups, but they need to follow some rules. They need to have proper documentations. They need to, of course, fulfill the customer expectations. So sometimes we need to help them. Sometimes we need to audit them if these are in place. We went through several audits, as I believe other companies as well, but we doesn't stop here. We are not just talking about what they need to do. We are really interested about the success stories, the best practices. So we are having some company blogs, internal company blogs. And of course, if we have really good topics there, then we make some case studies out of them, which are sometimes available for the public. And of course, this helps for us to get other customers when we show them how we are doing well on the testing side. Basically, these are what we started to make some as a steps to help us to go towards to the future, and we believe that we are prepared. The question is, that, are you? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Questions? So, do you have any question? It's too late? Or everything is clear? Or you were so brilliant?
We don't have any questions.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Maybe I have one that.
Okay.
Which kind of university cooperation do you have? So.
I can tell about the Budapest ones. So we have cooperation with the Óbuda University, the Alta University, and also with the Pázmány University. Right now, these three at Budapest.
And we have Debrecen and Nyíregyháza as well, so we have quite many.
You have a lot.
Szeged is on our list. We had some cooperations, but it's somehow discontinued. We try to get it alive again. Arpi, are you here? Let's talk about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other question? No? Yes.
Hello, I just want to ask if you establish some specific courses at the universities about testing and how the students are involved, or how is interesting for them.
Okay, so right now, for example, in this semester, we have automation testing courses at the Óbuda University and also at the Alta. And we try to teach them different kind of automation methods and tools. For example, mobile automation, web automation with Selenium and different kind of drivers, unit testing, and also CI and CD as well, which was mentioned by Tamás in the previous, or the one before that presentation over here. Also, we have a software testing basics course, which is relying on the basics of the ISTQB CTFL. So these are the two current courses which are revolved around testing. We also have big data courses, and I don't know if we do still have them, but we used to have mobile development, both Android and iOS courses on Pázmány University. I don't know if we have anything other, but these are the ones I know.
These are correct.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Okay.